Who doesn't want more customers for their business? Better yet, imagine having a lead source or a customer source that kept giving to you time and time and time again. That's what we're going to talk about today on Contractor Fight TV. And I'm going to share with you the one phrase that can come out of your mouth to make this happen for you. Let's go. We spend so much time marketing, writing content for our website, social media, doing all we can to get the phone to ring with new leads. And this is all good, but one of the things that I see a lot of contractors neglect, prospecting. It's building relationships locally with people in your area who I call influencers. And an influencer to me is somebody that stands in front of my ideal client hundreds of times a year. So if you're a flooring guy, maybe it's an interior designer or a home inspector, whatever, people that are standing in front of the people that need you. And so today we're going to talk about prospecting here in a phrase that I've truly sold millions of dollars of services through the years simply by uttering this and being on the hunt. And being on the hunt is really important. All right, farming is important. You got to plant shit and water it and fertilize it. It's got to grow, and I get that. I'm all for it. We talk about it here a lot. The village needs food, and sometimes you get off your ass and you got to go put a spear in something today, and that's what we're going to talk about here. So a lot of contractors are afraid of cold calling. They're afraid of prospecting. They're afraid of having a conversation. They're afraid of committing the time to do it because they don't always see immediate results, and they blow it off. They just don't do it. And it blows me away because I think this is one of the things that you could do to create a lead source and a sales source for you that will keep giving. Like you make the sale once and it keeps coming your way, And I know many of you have relationships like this. Second thing is simply schedule a time. Time block, time in your day, time in your week, an hour a day, half an hour a day, 3 hours a week. Just schedule the time and then honor it, commit to it. Creating a list of your influencers, like who are all the possible influencers. And I recommend starting, don't write like Bob and Joe and Dave and people you know, write industries, write types, home inspectors, realtors, remodelers, tile guys, whatever. Then you go through and you write down who you know already. And my goal here is that I have multiple people in each influencer category. Schedule the time, then you pick up the phone, you go see them if you see their van, text them, email, however you reach out to them, that's totally up to you. But here's the question, here's the phrase that I used and still use to this day that works all the time. In fact, I'll tell you a story. I ended up doing probably $500,000 a year from a guy that did basement remodeling. We were a painting company way back in the day, and I saw his van driving down the road. And it was a van that I'd never seen before, and it was in the area that we worked. And I dialed the number on the van. I said, "Hey, are you the guy in the van on Route 59 in Aurora right now on the Naperville border?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm in the van." I said, "Well, it looks like you build stuff, something remodeling." I said, you build stuff. I happen to paint stuff. I thought it might make sense if we knew each other." And I shut my mouth. Guys, that's the phrase. It's not rocket science. We've talked here in Contractor Fight TV a lot of times about blocking and tackling. It's about the fundamentals and just taking the action. Guys, this just starts the conversation. It's all it does. It starts instead of you knocking on somebody's door, come and go, "Would you need a remodeler for anything? Would you need a carpet guy for anything?" It's like, "Hey, I see you do this. I do that. I don't know, on some level, I just thought we might need to know each other at some point in the future." Guys, it gets the ball rolling, and then you start a relationship, and now you're giving, okay? And you seek to give to them first. I can't tell you how many guys that have ended up throwing work back my way that started with this phrase, but I gave to them first. I'm like, "Hey, I got this client who has this issue, and they've mentioned it to us twice since we've been on the job, and it might make sense for me to pass your number on to them." Guys, this local networking and relationship building is a fucking gold mine for your business. So don't get overwhelmed. And remember, this is the long game. It takes patience, it takes consistency, it takes you being a giver, And if you just committed some time, if that became your habit, then I'm just going to look for ways to give, build relationships. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how quickly your business grows, how your marketing costs will go way down. Because like I said, this one phone call that I made, hey, I thought it might make sense for us to know each other. That was my go-to line. Brought, I don't know, 40 to 60 projects a year our way. And it was awesome. It was a great relationship. Okay? There was no bidding anymore. It was like we worked out pricing because he did kind of some repeatable stuff, and we're like, here it is. And this is way back in the day of the fax machine. Some of you guys that still have a fax machine, I'd wake up, I'd go down to my basement office at my house, and there'd be 2 or 3 jobs in there, signed with an address, and when they're ready for us, all because of one phrase that came out of my mouth. And the reason I share this phrase with you guys is I know sometimes we get in our heads, right? The fights between our heads, and we talk, oh, they probably already have a remodeler. They probably already have a carpet guy or whatever guy. So if you're struggling to fill your pipeline with some kick-ass prospects and jobs and projects and all that, implement what we talked about today. Simply, hey, you happen to do interior design and we happen to make houses and bathrooms and stuff or whatever look really nice. I thought it might make sense for us to know each other. It's as simple as that. Just be consistent. The more you do that, the better things are going to go. It's not hard to grow your business when you're on the attack like that. When you have that commitment to take that spear, throw it in a giraffe and drag that shit back home to the village. All right? That's the daily practice. All right? Finally, guys, before we get out of here, if you're not yet earning at least $100,000 a year in personal income, and most home improvement contractors are not, if you are, you're in the exception. Most make 50 to 60 grand. If you're not earning 100 grand yet, get more coaching like we've talked about here today in our 100K community. You can hit the link. It's thecontractorfight.com/100K. Contractorfight.com/100K. And you can jump in there and see what it's all about, and we'll help you get to that next income level for you. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'm out.
Yikes. Nope. Stop. Please.
Okay.